Hi there, it's Michelle here. I hope you're having a really good day. It is day 6 of Psychic and Intuitive Development Fun, and we just have one more day to go, then we're back to our regularly scheduled events. I'd like to do an angel card reading today. So cards, I'm going to use these. I know it's probably backwards for you, but this is Doreen's Virtues Angel cards. I absolutely love them. But we can talk about cards in somewhere else, but hi Kara, I already pulled a card for us. So here's the deck. It's gorgeous. It's huge. It's a tarot deck. And I pulled a card first thing because I knew I was going to do this live, and I got this one card. And then I put it back and thought I'll do this sooner when we're getting closer to the live. And right before this, I did it again and I got the exact same card. So this is for you. So my intention when I pulled this card was to talk about psychic and intuitive development. But I'm going to give you the gist of the card, and you're going to decide what it means to you. So in psychic and intuitive development, there's different ways to use cards. There's different ways to read it. So for example, if I was giving you a reading, I don't usually use cards in readings, but they're fun. But there's a couple different ways to give information. I can give information that's coming to me for you, and I can also give you the feelings that are coming to me and ask you to interpret them. And there's more details to that will go inside of membership if that's interesting to you. So it's very hard for me to go into all the details. So here's what I want you to do. I'm gonna read this card to you and you decide what it means for you. For me, it was how do I talk about psychic and intuitive development to this group, but it could be something else for you. Okay, so here's what I got. I got the Ace of Water. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, which cracks me up because that's what that was my intention. A new home. Okay, so then I wanted to read it to you out of here, what it means, because I don't have these memorized. But before I do that, let me tell you how I would read this as a psychic. So there's so many different ways to read it. But in my world, water equals emotion. So if I have someone in front of me and I get water images, 9 times out of 10, I know I'm going to talk about their emotions, something to do with their emotions, their emotional state. I can even ask myself, give me more information about their emotions. What specifically should I talk about? Do you see how that was just a jumping off point for me to give a reading? Cards are just a doorway to more information. Okay, so I would love for you, I'm going to read it again. I can read it out of here too. A wonderful new person is coming into your life. See, that could be literal. It could be you, a new you stepping into your life. This could also involve a budding romantic relationship, a renewed romance within a current relationship. So that either makes sense to you, but I also want you to think about yourself and your relationship to yourself. That's usually what it means to me. Positive emotions such as joy, pleasure, and happiness are likely. You may find yourself falling in love. I think this part's funny. Your psychic abilities, especially clairsentience, the feelers, aka the empaths, take flight at this time. Spiritual growth accompanies the rich emotional experiences you're having right now. True friends, soulmates, compassion and kindness, a new home. So again, let's talk a little bit about that. That sometimes it can be literal. I'll give you my example. Like, you know how water to me means emotion, but I could also go like this. I'm getting water. It's either literal, meaning I have to talk to you about water, Or it could be subjective, meaning emotion. What else? All of my definitions of what water means. So for me, my dictionary's water is emotional issues, dealing with the emotions. So it's either literal or figurative. Does that make sense? And then inside development, we develop those things. You develop your internal dictionary on what things mean. So my thing is water means emotions. For you, water might mean something else. It might mean I want to talk to you about taking a vacation near the water. I want to talk about how water is healing for you. Like, you won't know that until you start practicing with people, and then you'll start to see the patterns. Like, you'll notice that every time you talk about water and talk about healing, that water and healing have to do with the person that you're with. And it sounds so confusing. I know I'm probably being confusing, but that's how you develop your intuition. And I know I've talked about giving information to others. You don't have to do that. You can just use this information for yourself. So for example, for me, I've developed my intuition a great deal. If I pulled this just for me today, and the first thing I noticed was the water, I would go back inside myself and I'd say, what does this mean for me? And then I would feel the emotions. I would look at water. I would look at everything that's coming up for me and feel into which one was the correct message for me. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. So I'll read it one more time. I would love for you to post if this meant anything to you. So it can be about your psychic intuitive development, or you can set the intention to have another area of your life, relationship, finance, health, your next steps in life, your job, your children. You can set that intention, and then you take this information into that intention. Okay, so I pulled for us twice today out of a huge deck, the Ace of Water. Falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship. That can be with someone else. It can be with yourself. It can be with spirit, with any part of love. It's not just romantic love. It can also be loving your animals, loving the planet, loving yourself, loving your children, loving your home. Spiritual growth and enhanced intuition. A new home. So a new home could be literal for you. A new home could be figurative, right? It could be learning new things, connecting with a new group of people, discovering something new about yourself. Kara says, yes, it definitely meant a lot, made a lot of sense with what I'm experiencing right now. Good. And then Kara, I think you do have a new home, Kara, so that's really interesting. That's literal. And then you just joined us in Psychic Intuitive Development, and that is a home. Like, that's a new home also. Does that make sense? Melissa says, definitely, yes, definitely trying to work on myself and putting myself first and working on my gifts. I totally agree, Melissa. You know, us empaths, we give. We are conditioned ourselves to take care of others, which is lovely, but we can get a little lost sometimes if we don't, like, we even forget like what we like to eat. We forget like what we like to do because we always say things like, where do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? We always want to make other people happy. And we forget then what we like to do, what we like to eat, what's interesting to us. And then I think that's how people fall off their life path or their life purpose. So one of the steps to getting back to your life path, your life purpose, and feeling fulfilled is doing things that are interesting to you. Karen says, oh, sorry, Karen, I missed it. Karen says, love. Thank you, Karen. Learning to live with myself. Oh, I lost it again. Learning to live myself for who I am. Karen, amen. This is all about you getting comfortable in your own skin. You living the way you're wired and feeling really happy and content with it on the inside. Because the more people we have living that way, the happier and healthier we are, the people in our lives are, and then the planet, and it ripples and ripples and ripples. Okay, I hope that made sense. Tomorrow's our last day of P&I development. If you want some more information about our membership, I'll put a link in the description. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Okay, have a great day. Bye.